Most amazing artists, I hope you're having an incredible day so far. Today, we are going to start celebrating the autumn season by making some leaf sun catchers. These are called sun catchers because we're going to display them in the window, and whenever the sun shines through them, you'll be able to see through it kind of. It'll be almost transparent. That's what transparent means. You can see through it kind of, but you can still see all the beautiful colors that we're going to use.
Here is one that I've already made, and it's all dry, and you can kind of see the shadow of my hand behind it. So whenever the sun shines through, that light is going to go through all these colors, and it's going to be very beautiful on the windows.
So that's why it's called a sun catcher, because it catches the light of the sun. What you're going to need today are some little pieces of tissue paper. I have red, orange, and yellow because we're celebrating autumn. And in the autumn time or fall time, the green leaves will start to turn these beautiful warm colors, red, oranges, and yellows. And I've just cut them into small strips, kind of squares. I also have some random ones. It doesn't really matter what shape they're cut in. We just want smaller pieces. We also will use some white glue. And this is just a little glue cup with washable white glue, and I've watered it down slightly. I also have a paintbrush to apply my glue since we're using washable glue. Putting glue on the hairs of our paintbrush won't be that big of a deal. It'll wash right out. And I have drawn a leaf shape on a piece of wax paper. So this is just a regular wax paper that you can find at the grocery store. I tore off a piece and I used a Sharpie to draw the shape of my leaf. This does get a little bit messier, so I do have a messy mat under my work as well, so I don't get glue all over my table. So that's everything you're going to need today to do your beautiful fall leaf sun catchers. Let's go ahead and get started. The first thing we're going to do is get some glue with our brush. We don't need too much, okay? So drip, drip, wipe it on the lip like normal. We're not going to paint dots though. Normally when we use a brush and we use glue, we do dot, dot, not a lot. For this, we are going to actually paint the glue inside of our leaf shape. You only need to do small sections at a time. So I just painted some glue, and I'm going to choose a tissue paper to put on top of that glue. I'll choose this one here, and you'll see the tissue paper just sticks right to the glue. And after you put one down, if you put a piece of tissue paper down, you're going to take a little bit more glue and go over top of it like this to seal it in. So paint some glue down in your next section. We don't need too much, but we need to cover the surface. I'll choose a different color for this one because I don't want to do just orange. I want a good mix of all my warm colors, red, orange, and yellow. I put that tissue paper down, so now I'm going to take some more glue, carefully paint it on the top. Even though we're not using paint today, we're still using a paintbrush. We're just using glue with it. But you still need to remember that your paintbrush is like a ballerina. She always dances across your artwork on her tippy toes, okay? Please do not squish her little tippy toes. That's not very nice. If you squish her down, then you're breaking her little tippy toes. So be very careful, my friends. I just painted a little bit more glue onto my leaf. Now I'm going to take some yellow, and you'll see it just sticks right to the glue. All right, after we put the tissue paper down, we need to grab a little bit more glue, paint it onto our paper. Not our paper, our tissue paper. Right? Let's do one more together, but this is pretty much the same process over and over again until you fill up your entire leaf shape. If you want, you can do something called overlapping. That's where you put your tissue paper on top of one another. So maybe, let me find a red. I want to do red next. You want this red to overlap on these colors. That means it's going to go on top of the other ones a little bit. See how the red piece overlaps the yellow, orange, and red back there. When we put it down, we're going to add some more glue on the top. And I'm just going over it a couple times to make sure there are no areas of my tissue paper that have not been covered with glue. If it's not covered all the way, then whenever we go to cut it out later, these pieces will start to fall off. So make sure you're adding enough glue on the top to keep your tissue paper secured. I'm going to do another one overlapping. So I painted some glue down, and I'm going to overlap this yellow one onto my red ones a little bit. And you can see it's starting to stick down, and then just paint some more glue on. Sometimes the pieces do want to move around, and that's okay if they do that. No worries at all. So I'm going to go ahead and speed this up a little bit because I'm doing the same steps over and over again. Paint some glue, put some tissue paper down, and then paint glue on top of it. Okay, so let me go ahead and do all that for the entire leaf shape, and then I'll be right back to show you what it looks like. So I'm almost done with my sun catcher here, but I just want to double check and go use my eyes and look around to make sure I didn't miss any spots. And I'm looking, going from left to right just to double check. And oh, look, I missed a spot right here. So be careful that you don't miss any areas. We want to cover the entire leaf shape with our beautiful fall colors, red, orange, and yellow. A couple of things that I thought about while I was doing this. You might have some tissue papers that go outside the lines of your leaf, and that's totally fine. What's important is that we fill up almost the entire shape of the leaf, okay? You see some areas where it's sticking off the side? That's okay, because after this dries, we are going to cut it out around our leaf shape, and I actually used my Sharpie again, and I just made the outline of my leaf a little bit darker so that we could tell that this is a leaf, and it kind of cleaned up the edges a little bit. Okay, so this does get a little bit messy. If you get glue on your fingers, that's totally fine. Just rub it in like lotion, and then Miss M will give you a wipe at the end of class. But it's really important that while we're using our glue, we're not being messy on purpose, my friends. It's okay if we get a little messy on accident because art class can be messy, but we don't want to be messy on purpose, okay? So take your time while you're doing this. Don't put your hands on your leaf because this is very sticky with glue. The only thing that should touch your leaf is your paintbrush, okay? Your ballerina paintbrush. This has to dry 100% overnight. You gotta let it dry overnight, and then once it's completely dry, like I said, you can cut it out and then hang it up in the window and see the beautiful sun and beautiful colors being caught inside of this sun catcher. I hope you guys have a lot of fun creating your sun catcher today. I can't wait to see how yours turns out. I know it's going to be amazing because you guys are amazing. All right, I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.